Most people think spiritual awakening is a moment, a flash of insight, an experience that changes you forever. But that's not the awakening. That's the beginning. The real awakening is a process, and like any process, it has stages: a beginning, a middle, and an end. Most people never reach the end. They stay in the seeking phase forever, chasing experiences, collecting teachings, trying to get there. But if these 7 signs are present, you're not seeking anymore. You've arrived. In chapter 2, verse 56 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the one who has completed the journey. One who is not disturbed by the 3 kinds of suffering, who is not elated by happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady wisdom. This is the state after awakening completes. Not permanently high, not constantly blissful, just steady, unshakable, complete. Here's how to know if you've reached this. Sign number 1. You've stopped desperately seeking experiences. The hunger for mystical visions, for altered states, for dramatic spiritual breakthroughs, it's gone. You've had experiences, some profound, some subtle, and you recognize now that experiences come and go. What remains is what matters. The seeking addiction has ended, not because you gave up, because you found what you were looking for, and it wasn't in the experiences. Sign number 2. Spiritual language feels unnecessary. You used to talk about chakras, vibrations, consciousness, energy. Now you mostly don't. Not because those things aren't real, but because talking about water doesn't quench thirst. You'd rather drink than discuss. I've noticed people deep in awakening become quieter about it. They've moved from seeking to being, and being doesn't need announcement. Sign number 3. You've lost interest in spiritual drama. Who's enlightened and who's fake? Which teacher is authentic and which is fraudulent? Whose method is right and whose is wrong? These debates used to matter. Now they feel like children arguing over whose imaginary friend is stronger. You've realized the only journey that matters is yours. Everyone else's path is between them and the divine. Sign number 4. Ordinariness has become sacred. Washing dishes, walking, breathing. These simple acts have become full. You're not chasing peak experiences anymore because every moment contains the same presence that peak experiences revealed. The extraordinary was a doorway to show you what was always here. Now that you see it, the ordinary is enough. More than enough. Sign number 5. You no longer need a teacher's approval. You're grateful for teachings received, but you're not dependent anymore. The external guru served their purpose, pointing you inward, and now the inner guidance is clear enough that you trust it over anyone's external validation. This isn't arrogance, it's maturity. The training wheels came off. You're riding on your own. Sign number 6. Suffering still happens, but differently. Pain arrives, loss happens, difficulty doesn't disappear, but your relationship to it has fundamentally changed. You feel it fully without being destroyed by it. You move through it without becoming it. In chapter 2, verse 55, Krishna describes this state. When one is free from all desires that arise from mental concepts, satisfied in the self by the self alone, such a person is said to be in pure consciousness. Satisfied in the self, not because life is perfect, because you've found what doesn't depend on life being perfect. Sign number 7. You've stopped waiting to become something. For years you were trying to become enlightened, awakened, realized, free. That project has ended, not because you achieved some final state, but because you saw through the one who was trying to achieve it. There's no future moment when you'll finally be complete. Completeness is seeing that you were never incomplete. The awakening is over because the one who needed to awaken was never real. If these signs are present, the dramatic phase is done. What comes after isn't boring, it's peaceful. What comes after isn't less, it's more, but quieter. The spiritual awakening ending doesn't mean you've lost something. It means the process has integrated. The seeking has settled. The journey has become the destination. You're not chasing anymore. You're living. And that's what awakening was always supposed to lead to. Not a permanent high, but a permanent here. If this describes where you are, welcome home. Subscribe if you've stopped seeking and started being.